Well, it's early July, I think. Come over for the weekend. Last weekend we spent 3 days here with the whole fam, and it was fantastic. All went well. Running water, warm water, made the world a difference. So still working on this guy. Got all the roof rafters in. Now I'm working on the end ones. So I was going to just hang them, hang the 2x6 off, but I've seen over time those sag, so I've made a bunch of knee braces here. So I'm going to put those on in a minute, and that'll hold the last rafter on each side. And what I've decided to do here is I've got galvanized metal, which is the quickest way of roofing. I've been kind of stockpiling cheap stuff that I found, so I hopefully have enough to do this roof. Might be tight, but I had all these offcuts, which is like the top of the log, the little arc on the top, and I had them in the discard pile. And then I thought, if I just skim like an inch off the top, so I made 1 inch thick planks, I can use those, space them out, and use those to plant my roof on. So like I've got even less garbage now, like very, very small amount. Obviously it doesn't make it to the end, so what I'll have to do is splice it, maybe a couple of joists in, and then add a bit for the far side. But it's a way of using the kind of scrap pieces. If you ever go up into old homes in Vancouver or wherever you are, and you go up into the attic, you'll notice a lot of times you'll see bark on the 2x4s, which mean they probably hand milled it up and they wanted to use every last bit. So it's fine. So it's not like straight lumber. It's obviously all different sizes, but the thickness is the same because I run it through the sawmill. So yeah, it's kind of an overcast day. It feels like it wants to rain, but it's not gonna rain, hopefully. And I've kind of hurt my back a little bit, so I got to take it easy. It's not doing work like this with a bit of a sore back is almost the worst case scenario. I probably shouldn't be here, but I keep stretching it out. So I'm going to go ahead and put these knee braces up, and then when my buddy comes up, or actually once I got the knee braces, I could probably put these last rafters up myself. So as you can see, it's time lapse, which makes it look fast, but it's actually quite slow when you're by yourself. Not having anyone's help, you have to back and forth over ladders and making sure, you kind of prop it up, run up the ladder, make sure, because you can't carry that kind of weight, especially with it being wet lumber. Time will tell whether the wet lumber thing was a bad idea or not. I don't know how much shrinkage I'll get. Oh my goodness, I made a massive miscut there. Eek. Gotta fix that. That's ugly. Yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd show you the pond because I'm quite surprised how we haven't really had a hot spring yet. Or is it summer? I guess it's summer. Our pond is going down rapidly. My guess is in a couple of weeks this will just be a puddle. I've had to lower all of the bulrushes that we've got, but you can see it used to be right up to that drain, and now it's gone down a foot in a week. And I put a stick in this morning, and it's already gone an inch past the stick, so it's rapidly going, and these poor little guys I keep having to drop them lower and lower, so I'm not sure if they'll survive this year. We'll maybe have to put them in a bucket of water and transplant them. Yeah. This time last year, it was way hotter. Another thing I've been slowly chipping away at is our kitchen on the deck here. Back and forth over whether to put the kitchen separate from Mandy, the trailer. But I decided to, so I just started building the frame sink. This is going to be a big, big worktop here, so it can look out while you're doing dishes and stuff. And then stove here. And then here, I'm undecided yet, but I was thinking of putting... Sorry, I thought I heard something. This big wood burning stove that I bought, probably prematurely. This guy. Not sure whether to do it there because it's going to be really, Thing is, we come here at the beginning of spring and it's pretty chilly, so you have a nice to have a fire going. And then in the fall, it gets pretty cold. So I was thinking having a fire there might be kind of nice. You could probably cook on it. But yeah, it's a heavy beast, so it's going to be mean sliding it in the truck, backing the truck around here, and then sliding it off. It's going to be a definite two-man job for that one. Well, it's Sunday morning. Still a bit overcast. Sun's poking through every now and then. So yesterday I got, I don't know if I videoed this already. It's a bit blurry. Anyway, I scoured Craigslist, oh, like my morning hair. Last year I knew I'd need a lot of galvanized metal, and I wish I got more because metal has gone up in value. But I salvaged enough to do the roof of our 10x10 bathroom, and just enough, and actually full length, which is pretty cool, to do the one side of my my shed roof here. So I've got the one side all roofed up and done, and I'll have to buy more metal for the other side. But I was putting these end knee braces in, and then holding up these long pieces by and you got 4 of them to do, right? And I can tell you what, doing it by yourself is one hell of a test of patience. Get to the top of the ladder, your hammer drops to the floor, get to the top of the ladder again, your tape measure drops to the floor. And when you're by yourself doing stuff like this, you have a lot of time to think. You think about all kinds of things. Some things stupid, crazy. Sometimes you're on the job and living in the moment. But I was thinking as I dropped my hammer and was swearing and getting frustrated, and stopped myself and looked at the trees, and that always stills me. How, we all know this, right? We live in a very, very selfish society. The world is very, very self-centered as a whole, myself included when I'm speaking of these things. And we also live in a world that's kind of, I don't know how to put the right twist on it, but monetized. Like, we don't do anything unless there's money in it or what's in it for me. We have a what's in it for me mentality. And I don't know if that's always been the case. Maybe it has. Maybe it's always been human nature. But I think there's something about culture that's changed. I was reminded of when you have a boat, there's this old-fashioned thing. I don't know if it's old-fashioned or just smart, good in our nature, but when you break down on the water, you're all alone. You can't call for a tow truck. Well, you could call for a sea tow, cost you a fortune. And it's the actual law, I believe, that if you see someone in danger or someone in trouble, you have to go to their aid. If you're driving a $5 million boat and you see someone in a $800 boat, you go and help out. And I've had that happen to me many times, and I've given my help to a lot of people. My arm's tired. Many times. And in really nice boats, because it doesn't matter what age your boat is, things happen, ghostly things happen on the water. But on land, we don't have that. And I've done so many, and I'm sure you've done the same thing, you know, like struggling here. I'm like, fuck, you know, shit. If only I had someone helping me. But I know full well, no one's really going to help me because unless I pay them to come help me. And I get that because I'm in the same boat too, you know, and it's just a muse that I've had just thinking up there, just how we live in a world now where we don't do anything. And especially in Vancouver, I used to have a band in Vancouver, and everyone in Vancouver would be very like, well, I'll try and come, I'll try my best. No one commits. We're very uncommittal, and with the best intentions. And I think that if the world starts to fall apart, we'll be back in that place again where it's like, you know what, I need to help my neighbor because I know full well I'm going to need help, or, you know, he's got chickens and I need eggs, and if I go help him stack firewood, he's going to give me some. That barter system ends up being very good for community and neighborliness. With the monetary, you can always make, like, if I'm going to say, well, I'll pay you $15 an hour to come help me on Gambier, you'd be like, well, I'm going to stay on the city and make 20. And so it's just an observation, and I know that I'm guilty of exactly the same thing, but I think it is very sad, and it really does reflect on how lonely we are. in this world, because most of us are tackling projects and tasks and struggles and depression by ourselves. No one's got the time to, it's kind of a big building, it's getting a bit big. No one's got the time, or in our head we quickly do the math and think, well, what's in it for me? Yeah, and we back out. And as I'm here struggling with these 2x6, 16-foot 2x6s by myself up a ladder, it hits home very quickly that we are in it for, we're it's every man for himself, unfortunately. But I think that if there is a big economic collapse or whatever it is, I think the silver lining will be we'll suddenly realize that there's such a need for community. I mean, doing a task like this with someone else would be morally 10 times better. Is morally the right word? Just morale. That's what I mean. My morale would be, you'd be joking and laughing and having a laugh. When you drop a hammer, you'd be like, ah, dang it, pass it to me. But when you're by yourself, you have this kind of chip on your shoulder because you're thinking in the back of your head, only someone could be helping me. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's my muse for the day. Maybe we can make efforts to help people with no strings attached. Maybe we can, because I think that it would be perpetuating. If we help someone, someone would help us. I don't know if that mold can be broken, but it's unfortunate where we're at as a world right now. Anyway, there's the project so far. All right, well, that's a wrap for the day. I half wrapped it. I tell you what, doing this building paper by yourself is not fun. It's not fun at all. Like kind of sort of hard, not really soft, like, anyway, it's a nightmare. Anyway, got it half wrapped, moved these trees, which I should have done when I started. I've been fighting these trees that are over here, and half of them around the corner, some of them logs, through the whole build. I should have just moved them at the start, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, so she's buttoned up. I got metal on this side, tarp on this side for now, just until I get some metal. And I got a one window in, and yeah, she's dry. So it's pretty good.